Hello there, good people of the world. Welcome to another Flight Sim Safari video. We are back over at well, the Philippines. You know what I mean? We're here. Let me zoom out a little. We're still in the area of the Philippines, and the last flight that we did went to Catbalogan, which is a little airfield right here on this beautiful island, which seems to only exist to host this little airfield. So this is where we're going to start. And the first mission that we will do for FrontierWings tonight is to fly to this particular little airfield here. I'm not even sure whether this is an airfield that we can land on, but we'll see. I saw that it's an airfield that is in the database of FrontierWings, and we'll see how it goes. So what we're going to have to do is, it's about 50 miles away from our place. We load up about 562 pounds of cargo, and the operational risk for this particular mission is high because of a couple of items. First of all, the destination runway is pretty short. It's got only 1,582 feet, which isn't a whole lot. I'm going to fly the Kodiak, so it's not going to be a problem. And since we only have so little cargo, it's doubly no problem. The rough destination surface is also a problem. It's for regular aircraft. It's got a grass runway. No problem for the Kodiak. I have Tundra tires on, so. Also, what we're going to have to deal with is that there is no destination fuel. It's a remote destination where we cannot service the aircraft. And, well, that's about it. Let's take a look at the weather. Our departure airfield, it's pretty early in the morning, 5:30. The estimated local conditions are pretty calm. We have hardly any wind, just 5 knots, but it's already pretty warm, almost 27 degrees Celsius. And the suggested runway, according to the wind, would be 13, right? At the destination airfield, we've got cloud conditions. I would say that it's not entirely accurate, but that usually is a problem with the simulator, not with the real weather. So in the destination, the preferred runway currently is 16, but we'll take a look at it once we get there, because I have no idea what might be actually an approachable direction. We'll see about that. So we don't need to split the cargo. We could, of course. This is what the system allows. In case you're flying a very small plane, then you can split the cargo and pick the rest up on another mission. But this is what we're going to have to deal with. So let's put that away for now. Let me put it here. Okay, so here's the FrontierWings tracker. First of all, we're going to have to adjust the dispatch load. So we're supposed to have 562 pounds of cargo in the plane. Let's take a look at the electronic flight book. We're going to get rid of the co-pilot. This is only unnecessary cargo, and we're going to put in 500. I'm cheating a little here because I don't really want to fill every single pod and every single space. 562 pounds of cargo. Fortunately, the system allows this, although it's not necessarily totally realistic. The center of gravity is still good, so we're filled up nicely, at least from my perspective. Let's check the aircraft load. Yes, it does check out. So the route is from Catbalogan to Dalupuri Island National Airfield. We could generate a flight plan file. It's not necessary. We're going to put this into the Garmin system in a minute. and we'll start the tracking process. So the system knows that we're in a Kodiak. This is the departure destination, and this is the progress bar where we can see how far we've come during the flight. We're supposed to fly 49.2 nautical miles. The ground speed we'll see later and all that, and yeah, we're good to go. So let's go ahead and start up the plane. All right, here we go, electricity, and start up. Pause off for now. Let's introduce the fuel. Turn off the secondary horizon. It only eats FPS. Controls are clear. Right. Okay. Prop full forward. And we're going to set the altimeter. Okay, let's put in the destination real quick. The destination is Romeo Papa Sierra Alpha. Romeo, wait a minute. Romeo Sierra Papa. Oh, come on, I hate it. No, Papa. Alpha. Wait a second. No, Romeo Papa Sierra Alpha. I'm such a noob. Oh, come on. Sierra Alpha. That's the one. Here we go. Okay, let's switch over to GPS tracking. I'm not going to use any ATC today. Let's see, starter on, let's turn it off. And I think we're good to go. Yep. So we're supposed to take off from, what was it, runway 13 would be the preferred runway here, I think. Let's take a look at the briefing. Yep, 13 is the right one. So let's turn around. So we're going to have to backtrack the entire runway. What a nice little plane is this? What is this? What the heck is it? Weird. All stations, Cat Belogan, Kodiak, Papa 2, Delta Foxtrot Golf is backtracking runway 13. All stations, Cat Belogan. I'm not sure if this is actually how they're talking like this on the Philippines, but I'm going to pretend I know something about this, which I don't. Flaps down to 20 for takeoff. Altimeter set. Let's reset the rudder trim. I really rather use my feet. Takeoff trim is good. Let's try to not exceed 30 knots on the ground. Okie dokie. Looks like nice weather today. It's very hot and it's very humid, but still, and it's still pretty early. Let's turn around. Okay, one last check. High idle. Flaps are down. Elevator trim is good. Rudder trim is good. Prop full forward. And altimeter is set. Autopilot, we don't need it right now. And I think we're good. Let's go ahead and take off. There we go, 75. We can slowly pull back on the yoke. We can already retract the flaps. We're so fast. Look at the nice sunrise here. Oh man, this is beautiful. Really pretty. Okay, let's make our left turn toward the destination. We're going to fly low today. There is no need to climb a whole lot. Let's go to 4,500. Let's set a speed of 110. Climb speed, and we're going to set to nav mode GPS. So the autopilot is following our little magenta gates here. In case you don't know, you've never used the Garmin system before, which I doubt, but if you're a flight sim crack, then you probably have used it before. But these nice little magenta gates here, they indicate what your flight path, what your supposed flight path is, so that you're going to reach your destination. It's also showing up as a magenta line here on the secondary flight display. So what I can do now is just go ahead and activate the autopilot, because then it is going to follow the path and I don't really have to do anything. Autopilot is just going to follow the route and make sure that hopefully we don't crash. What I also did is tell the autopilot that it should keep a climb speed of 110 knots, so which makes things a little easier. The higher you get, the more difficult it is for the plane because of the decreasing lift. In thinner air, the aircraft cannot climb as quickly as it can down low in denser air because the lift is not as strong. And usually, what can happen if you just set a vertical speed of, I don't know, 1,000 feet per minute or something like that, what could happen is that if you're climbing to a very high altitude, that at some point the plane is not going to be able to keep 1,000 feet per minute climb speed, because the air is going to get thinner and thinner and thinner, and at some point, if you're not paying attention really nicely, it can happen that the plane is going to into a stall. With the setting, it's called a flight level change. What essentially that means is that you can set a speed that the autopilot is supposed to keep during the climb, and then it might happen that the plane at some point will not climb as quickly as it used to in at lower altitudes, but it's unlikely to stall because it's going to keep this indicated airspeed of 110 knots, which comes in handy if you're in a very convoluted airspace and you've got all things to keep track of in the more you can automate safely, the better. So this is a nice feature of the Kodiak that I like a whole lot. Okay, let's go ahead and activate our usual time lapse. So we'll see, we'll talk to each other. I'll talk to you. We're not going to talk to each other, but I'm going to talk to you at the end of the time lapse. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we're back in the cockpit, just 18 miles to go. Let's talk about the approach. We're gonna take a look at the procedures that are available here on the Garmin system. So what did the platform say? The destination has runway 16 as a suggestion, because of the wind situation. Let's activate that kind of approach and let the airplane fly this. There's a good chance that this is not going to be the final decision. We'll see once we get there. So, what does the flight plan say? We're supposed to be at about 1,000 feet for the circuit, and let's start our descent towards that altitude. Reduce the throttle a little, and see what's happening. I'm still struggling. I'm struggling with the views, really. I'm using a software which is called Beam Eye Tracker. I thought that I might be able to finally get rid of the Trek IR system, but unfortunately, the Beam Eye Tracker is giving me trouble, all kinds of trouble that the Trek IR system did not give me. So eventually I will likely switch back, because I'm not the VR type of guy. I get sick when I use VR. So Trek IR is my best option currently. Oh man. There's a bit of weather happening here at our... No, it's going away. The lower we get, the seems that the weather is not good. I'm sorry, it's not going to give us any trouble. It's beautiful here, isn't it? Look at the buildups. This is pretty thick over here. Let's zoom out a little and take a look at what the radar says. We've got a bit of buildups here. Denser clouds, but nothing that would indicate that something is happening on the left-hand side. Well, we'll see. Because this is not going to be the only flight of this recording. I'm going to do another one, another little hop. So let's zoom back in here. Yeah, let's see. This is a little grass runway. It's really short. I'm going to show you on a little nav map here real quick. This is our destination airfield, just 1600 feet long. So we're going to do our, here we come, and then we're going to make a tight left turn and try to approach this field with all the dignity and grace that we're capable of. I hope the weather is not going to give us too much trouble. It's pretty hazy, isn't it? I hope it's going to go away. It looks like it's going to go away. That would be very helpful indeed. So we can already take a look at this area here. There is supposed, I think around here, this is where the airfield might be, right after the there's a little, oh man, there's a little lake here or something, or a bay. This is probably it, and the airfield should be somewhere around here. Yeah, I definitely gonna have to get back to Trek R. I mean, I love it that I don't have to wear this stupid cap all the time with Trek IR, but unfortunately Trek IR is still so much more precise and reliable. And if I do wave my hand in front of my face, it's going nuts. Another one of those things that I really have a hard time accepting. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there is the airfield. Right there. Yeah, that looks doable. That looks doable. There are no big trees in the way here on the final approach. I think we're not even going to have to do a flyover. Taking a closer look is not necessary. There's not a whole lot going on, so it should be fairly easy to land. There's always the option to go around if something doesn't work out. We're descending with about 160 knots. That's good enough. Slowly begin to reduce the airfield, the airspeed. There, in this area of the world, there are so many beautiful volcanoes. I don't know if you're following the. There's one of our regular members, Jacob Outfretter, who is currently holding a tour over Indonesia every Tuesday, and it's really great fun because Indonesia is such a nice country to fly over, an entire region. Currently, we're flying over Papua New Guinea with lots of interesting airfields. So, prop full forward. Let's begin to lower the flaps. I'm going to fly manually here. No need for the autopilot. Trim the nose down a little bit. Let's take a look at. Now the question is, which one is the actual runway? Is it this here? I guess so. So reduce the speed even further. Flaps 20 degrees. Gear is down. Oh, the Kodiak. That's easy to do, isn't it? Flaps 30 degrees. Trim the nose up a little bit, just a little bit, and keep the speed at about 70 to 75 knots. There we go. This looks okay. There's a bit of turbulence here at the end. Reverse thrust. And we're good. Flaps up. That's good. And park up here beside the hut. Let the people unload the aircraft. Oh, look at these juicy clouds here. Let's go to low idle. I'm not going to turn off the engine because we're going to take on the next mission immediately. So now that we've come to the destination, oh, the touchdown speed is 140. Could be better. Anyway, submit PREP. So we can go ahead and fetch a new mission at the HQ, which is this. Come on, browser. There we go. Let's take a look at the map. So we are currently here where the green pin is, and the next natural step would be to fly towards Manila, because that's what we want to do. Just continue to fly along the Philippines, then go to Taiwan and up into China, right? So yeah, let's just pick that one. This looks good enough. Oh man, this is inside a little city here. Let's open the briefing and take a look. It's 54 nautical miles away. Oh man, this is heavy. We're going to have to take on 2,910 pounds of cargo. This is pretty much at the limit of what the Kodiak can take up. The weather, currently we know what the weather is here, but we're going to take a look at the destination. Legazpi. The runway is pretty long, should not be any problem, even if we're very heavy. Runway 06, depending on the headwind. 0 crosswind, okay. That looks good to me, so let's accept the mission and put that away. Load the new mission. So we're supposed to have 2,910 pounds of cargo. Let's put that in using the EFB. 2,910. Load the aircraft. Oh yeah, as you can see, we're quite a bit overloaded. Let's get rid of some of the fuel. We don't need that much. Closer to the limit. Oh man. It's a little bit too little. Oh, it should work because 18%. Let's go to something like that. I mean, this is not totally realistic, but I think that I'm going to be able to work with this, even though it's a little too heavy. Right? Let's go back to the sim client. It seems that it's accepting our current state. So let's begin the tracking process, and off we go. Reset the altimeter. We're going to set our autopilot again to, let's say, 4,500. That's good enough. Climb speed of about 110. Yeah, something like that, right? Nav mode on. And then we're going to cancel the current flight plan. And enter our new destination, which is Romeo Papa Lima Papa. Romeo Papa Lima Papa Legazpi. Okie dokie. So we're all set then. Let's put the flaps to 20 again. Prop is full forward. Lights are on. So the departure airfield, let's take a look. There's nothing in the way, but it might be safer. Do we have a lot of wind here? I don't think so. No, all runway, according to Little Nav Map, all runways are good for takeoff and landing. So, turn off the parking brake. You know what? We're gonna start from this end, because on the other end we don't, we have, the clearance is much easier. Not as many trees in the way. And since it does not matter from which direction we take off, we're going to take the easier one, because we are very heavy. Here we go. Okay. Idle, prop full forward, reset rudder trim. Elevator trim is good. Altimeter is good. Autopilot is good. And let's do it. Stay on the brakes extra long to build up torques before we release the brakes. Yep, there we go. The acceleration is quite a bit slower than it was on the last takeoff. 75, we can bolt back on the yoke and just bring this thing into the air and slowly climb. Try not to stall it. With that much cargo on board, we can retract flaps to 10. Here we go, and we're going to fly toward these beautiful volcanoes. Right? I'm going to activate the autopilot for now, and activate nav mode. And we're going to climb to 4,500 feet. Retract the flaps entirely. And let's make sure that our non-existent passengers have a nice temperature in here. Let's go to 22 degrees Celsius. Okay, we can pull back on the RPM. Let's go to 2000. Let's not waste more fuel than ultimately necessary, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Looking at the climb rate, we're still doing 1,300, 1,200 feet per minute, which is pretty cool considering how heavy we are. The Kodiak is such a beast. Let's switch to the external view and do another round of time lapse. Have fun. I'll see you on the other end of the flight.
Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire. Hey, I'm never the same. Whenever you're calling my name, I'm taking my sweet time. Hey, whatever the plan, I know I'm holding the best of me out of my head.
Okay, so we're about 22 miles away. We are doing a VFR flight here, so we'll try to avoid clouds as best as we can. Looks that was rather easy with the build-up, but I think we can begin our descent towards the destination. Go back to the cockpit and take a look at what's waiting for us. So, the destination has runway 24 and 26. According to little nav map, all runways are good for takeoff and landing. This is our destination. So runway 24 is this, and I would prefer this coming in from this from the seaside, because that usually makes, first of all, it makes things easier, and it also makes things safer for the population here. The less you fly over populated areas, the less likely there will be deadly accidents. Look at this beautiful Mount Mannion. So symmetrical. We're going to fly past this in the next leg, I guess. Okay, so it is going to be runway 24. We're going to put this in here into the system. Too far. Visual. Visual is good enough. Yep. Activate. There we go. And we're supposed to be at an altitude of 1,400 feet for the straight fly-in, so we'll descend to, let's say, 1,500. Or 1,400 should be good enough. Start the vertical speed, reduce the throttle so we don't overspeed. You've just been watching the time lapse. I thought the volcano was beautiful. Part of the crater, part of the caldera. No, the crater was probably burned away or removed by the lava, so there was a pretty strong lava flow at the side. That was impressive. And I really like to, let's take a quick look at a little nav map here. This is going to be awesome. This one here in particular, because it's so utterly symmetrical, a really nice cone. And then these little, they're big ones, big volcanoes here with this awesome crater. And that one here too. This is what I meant earlier. This is probably the part where the lava flow went and kind of opened up the crater, and everything was flowing downwards here. So these volcanoes just look awesome on the map. I think they're going to look awesome in this sim as well. We'll fly by each one of those in the upcoming legs. So looking at the weather here, it's a little bit more cloudy, and we've got, look at these beautiful hazy valleys here. They're not fully awake yet. I hope we're not going to have any trouble seeing the airfield. Let's fly through the clouds. Thanks to the synthetic vision here, we can still fly through the clouds. I'm not sure if this is actually a valid practice in real world situations, because if it says VFR, you're going to have to be able to see things. That's why it's called VFR. But obviously these clouds here don't give us a whole lot of trouble, and we don't have any mountains in the way. Look at this beautiful cone here. This is the it even looks nice in the synthetic vision. And we seem to have quite a bit of turbulence here, and the autopilot, as you can see, is struggling to keep the plane level, right? Holy moly. We do have a bit of crosswind. I'm not sure if little nav map was right in this particular case. Looking at where the wind comes from, it seems that we will have tailwind coming in. This is not really intentional. 24. No, sir. 24 does not look good with that much tailwind. We'll do a flyover and see how things are once we are at the destination altitude. Okay. Okay, it's a little hazy here, but we should be able to see the runway, at least on short final. But the lower we get, the better things are. We still have quite a bit of tailwind. The problem with tailwind is that the heavier you are, the more difficult it becomes to actually land. Luckily enough, the runway is pretty long, so we should still be able to do it with tailwind. But of course, it would be preferable if we did not have tailwind, but headwind. We'll see. But I still like to fly in from the water, from the seaside. So let's reduce the speed. Prop full forward. Flaps 10. Flaps 20. And we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to lower the flaps any further. There is no need to do this. Because the runway is long enough and I don't want to be very slow. So we're going to land with about 85 knots maybe. We're already pretty low. Let's keep the nose up a little bit. So there we go. Slowly. We're going to end up at the right, with the right wall, blah, blah, da, da. The right path right there. Yeah. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Let's see, where are the, where's the parking space at the end of the runway? Left-hand side, we're going to leave the runway to the left. Oh no, we're going to leave to the right. The general aviation for the small airplanes is on the right. Flaps up. Taxi lights on. There we go. He's waiting for us. Okay. Parking brake on, lights off, cut off, shut down. Okay. Alrighty, so that was it. That was another two legs along the Philippines, and take good care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.